Welcome to the My Creative Days podcast, where we will talk about all things DIY, home decor, decorating tips, and creating a beautiful home on a budget. I am hoping our time together will spark a creative idea, help you plan your next DIY, or inspire you to finally tackle that project you keep putting off. Grab your favorite cup of motivation and let's chat. It is time to start talking about one of my... Why do I do that? I say that every time. Everything I talk on here is going to be my favorite thing. It's that time of year to be talking about something that is coming up here where I live in Iowa. And for some of you, depending on where you live, these might be happening all year round. And if that is true, you are so lucky. But yard sales, garage sales, they will all start popping up here kind of later spring, early summer here in Iowa. But it's something that so many of us look forward to at this time of year. And so I want to kind of dive into some of the topics and some of the things about yard selling and how to get the best things and how to shop them and all the things. So today I'm going to start off with 10 things that you should be looking for at yard sales. Now, these kind of 10 things are universal kind of. I know like when we had little kids, I was looking for, toys and clothes for the kids and those kinds of things. So definitely if you are at that stage, that is a surefire way to save money on those kinds of things. I don't know, Landon, our son, was always into he was into Thomas and Legos, and some of those toys are so expensive. And so when I could find them at yard sales, it was like, it was so exciting because I was saving so much money. I mean, paying pennies compared to what I would have been buying them for in stores. And he was thrilled. And so it was just a win-win. So definitely if you have smaller kids, even older kids, definitely look out for that kind of stuff at yard sales and garage sales. But today I'm going to kind of talk about some other things that you may not think about or that you should keep your eye out for when you are shopping at yard sales and garage sales. Number one, wood furniture. So, obviously, for flipping furniture for profit or just for your home, definitely keep your eye out for wood furniture and furniture that was kind of, made, back in the day, or just the good sturdy wood furniture that they just don't make anymore. And so when you can find that, even if it's, not the right color or the stain doesn't match, you can always make it over. But wood furniture at yard sales and garage sales, number one, you're going to find pieces that are going to last you forever and ever and ever. And number two, you can make them exactly the style and the look that you want them to be, no matter what they look like. There's definitely some things you want to look out for. And I won't go into all of that here because that's not what this podcast is about. But, you just want to make sure it's in good condition. The legs aren't broken. There's no, broken drawers and all those kinds of things. But if you can find a good piece of wood furniture at yard sales, you're going to find it at a great price. Obviously, we're, go into yard sales with a budget just like you would in any other store or shopping for anything. But you're going to find a better price, a good price for a good piece of furniture there. And there's also some negotiating room at yard sales and garage sales. Whereas, if you walked into a store or a thrift store or an antique shop or anything like that, there's not really that much negotiating room. Whereas a yard sale and a garage sale, these people want to move this stuff. This stuff is stuff they can't use anymore, don't have room for anymore, want to get rid of. So you definitely have some negotiating room when you're at yard sales. So that's a good thing when you're looking for furniture and bigger items like that. The second thing you need to look for is seasonal decor. So like I said, yard sales will pop up for us late spring, early summer. And so people are getting rid of, Christmas things, Halloween things, spring stuff, all of that kind of stuff. And usually, especially for like Christmas stuff, when we're going into summer, they're so inexpensive. I have found my vintage Santa mugs and other, vintage Christmas things and just Christmas decor in general at yard sales and garage sales for so inexpensive. So definitely, even though you're going into spring, summer, Definitely check out the seasonal items at yard sales and garage sales because you can usually find some really great things for not a lot of money. Then when you're pulling those things out at Christmas or, Halloween or whatever, you will be thanking yourself for all the money that you spent and not having to run to a store and pay retail for them. Another thing I like to look for at yard sales are wood boxes, especially wood boxes that may have some lettering, some words, just the vintage old wood boxes because they look so good in your home and they're so functional. You can use them for storage, but they look good no matter where they are. Even if they're in a cabinet, the door is shut. When you open them, they just look so good. And so, one of my favorite kind of sales to go to is when it's an older, generation, older couple that is having a yard sale or a garage sale. And to be honest, I'm usually finding the most stuff in the husband's garage or shed that he's cleaning out. He can't really use the tools or doesn't have a use for them much anymore. And so he's cleaning out all that stuff. You will find the most amazing things in those kind of sales. And wood boxes that have those old graphics or old lettering or advertising or whatever it is, they use those inside their garages to store things. And so definitely check out for those and don't just drive past. If you see a couple of older people and they're having a sale, do not drive past those. Go up there because you'll find some amazing things. Those are the sales that I love too. I may drive past like a baby sale if I see a lot of baby stuff, but if it's an older couple or older generation having the sale, I stop every time. Another thing to look for is items to repurpose or knock off. So I am always looking for, I'm just writing down some notes here so I don't forget anything. I am always looking for things that I can repurpose or knock off. So one of my favorite things to do is I love to browse inside like a Home Goods, a TJ Maxx, any kind of like a Kirkland's. We used to have a Pier 1, Pottery Barn. All of those stores are amazing. Like and I don't need to buy anything. I could just spend hours in there just looking at the different things and just being inspired by what I see. Same thing if I'm just on my computer looking through Pinterest or I'm looking through catalogs or magazines. I love to do that to get inspired and get inspiration for things that I may be finding or could knock off or repurpose to get the look that I'm seeing for a lot less. So those kinds of items I'm always looking for at yard sales and garage sales. So definitely keep an open mind when you're shopping yard sales and garage sales, because if something isn't the right color or isn't the right, look, but you could use some paint or spray paint or rub and buff, or, you can maybe add something to it or take something away from it, and then it would be perfect. Those are the kinds of items you want to be looking for at yard sales and thrift stores, because that's exactly how you're going to shop or decorate your home on a budget and save a ton of money. You're going to get the exact look you want with a little bit of work, a little bit of paint, a little bit of DIY, and be paying pennies for what you're finding. So instead of paying retail, again, it's just a good way to decorate your home on a dime. And so looking for those items that you can repurpose and knock off at yard sales is always a good thing. Home decor, that's huge. Like that, you should be definitely looking for those at yard sales and garage sales. I have found so many things at yard sales and garage sales I'm just looking around my office right now that I'm still, have decorated our home. Again, people can't use this. Maybe they've changed their style, which I have found people that have changed their style to maybe more modern or something, and they're getting rid of a style that I really love, and like the entire garage or whatever is full of that stuff. So definitely keep your eye out for home decor. And sometimes I said that maybe I will pass by a baby sale. If you're having a baby sale, it's great, because those people that are looking for baby items, you will sell stuff so fast. So definitely, have those things up front. But, back in the corner, I have gone up to baby sales, especially when we're like shopping at a town-wide sale, which are some of our favorites because you can hit so many sales in one day or in a couple hours. And so we'll be walking down a street and we'll walk up into a baby sale, and in the back corner there's like so many good things that you wouldn't see driving by. So definitely keep your eye out for home decor. It's amazing what people will get rid of. It's amazing how often people change their style or change up the decor in their home. I'm raising my hand because I'm guilty of that. And so we do have sales multiple times, at least a couple times a year. Since the pandemic, that's kind of changed. But I change things up all the time. And so I have a big home decor sale at our house. And so definitely be on the lookout for that. Old books. I love old books. I have tried to condense them down, and I'm trying to get more, picky and choosy about them, because I'm only picking up old green books right now. Green is my favorite color. I love to add it to our home. But when you're shopping at thrift stores, and they can be expensive. So if you can find them at yard sales and garage sales, oh my gosh, usually, was it last summer or the summer before, we actually hit a yard sale. We weren't out yard sailing. I think we had to drop Gabrielle off somewhere. And so on the way home, we saw a sign and we stopped. And you guys, those are like the best, the best yard sales to find, where they haven't really advertised anywhere, and you see a random sign somewhere and you go down and find an amazing sale. That has happened to us more often than not. So if you see signs, stop at them. And this guy, oh my gosh, the whole sale was old stuff. He had kind of cleaned out his parents' home and nobody wanted anything. And I think it was his dad, loved old books. And you guys, they were 25 cents. I bought them all. But so definitely look out for old books, because usually they're going to be a lot cheaper at yard sales and garage sales than you'll find them at thrift stores. Thrift stores anymore, they're trying to mark that stuff up. I don't understand why. They don't sell at those prices, but so definitely that's something I look for at yard sales and garage sales. Another huge one, I'm calling it materials. So for somebody that DIYs, or somebody that likes to flip furniture, or somebody that likes to repurpose, I want to have things on hand so I'm not having to run out again and pay retail for them. So when I'm at yard sales and garage sales, I'm always picking up things like knobs and pulls for dressers, hinges, wood. Sometimes we have found people will just brand new wood, brand new, we found some brand new packages of tongue and groove, building materials that we could maybe use for something else. People don't want to keep it, and so they'll just sell it at garage sales. Things like legs, for different projects or for furniture, or screws and nails is something like Matt will look for, because especially those older guys that can't really do a lot of, projects anymore, and they're cleaning out their garage, they have some of the best tools, or the best, screwdrivers, or they've got boxes of screws that they need to get rid of. So it's always something that I'm looking for, while we are out yard sailing or garage sailing, just because it's amazing when you are working on, let's just say, a dresser or a piece of furniture, and you need knobs, like it didn't come with knobs, and then you can go in a stash of knobs that you have that are the older knobs that actually fit the era of the piece, and you got a bag of them for $1, or you got them for 25 cents a piece. You just can't beat the price, and to have the real kind of the old vintage knobs or pulls, it's priceless. So definitely look for materials and things that you can use on other projects when you're out garage sailing and yard sailing. Baskets are another thing, kind of like the wood boxes, that are pretty and functional, right? They can store so much, and they look good wherever they are, whatever space they're in, and whatever style you love. Baskets go with any style. So they are something that I am always picking up at garage sales and yard sales. Antiques and vintage items, especially at yard sales and garage sales, where it's not like an estate sale or a antique sale. It's not like a dealer. So I have found so many antiques and vintage items at yard sales and garage sales for dirt cheap. Sometimes people mark those things up, but a lot of times people are just trying to move them, or they, like a family member brought some things to the sale and, they didn't care what price they put on them. So I find some really good vintage and antique things, at a discount or at a really cheap price at garage sales and, yard sales. That's definitely probably the number one thing. I mean, I have passed on a lot of antique and vintage items that I found at yard sales. You definitely, stay with what you like and the style that you're looking for and those kinds of things. But it's a great place to find antique and vintage items at a reasonable price. Okay, the last thing I added to this list, I mean, I could go on forever and ever. And everybody, like I said, if you have little kids or, younger kids but not babies, all those stages and stuff, your yard sales and garage sales are going to look a lot different. The things that you're picking up, the things that you're looking for is going to look different. But today I just kind of wanted to go through the 10 of the things that I definitely will be looking for as I head out to yard sales this season. And the last thing I added was organizational items. So I'm really big on organization and keeping your home organized, your space organized, but I also don't feel like you have to go to, like an organizational store and spend hundreds of dollars on, containers and things. So when I'm out yard selling and garage selling, I'm always looking for clear jars, pretty storage, maybe some of those brands that are in the organizational stores that somebody else has paid for, they're now getting rid of them. And I pick those up at garage sales and yard sales. It's just, I'm always looking to organize our spaces better, more efficiently, and I know what works for us and our family, like having the clear containers, the clear jars, so that we see what's inside of them and we use them. So those are things that I definitely look for. The smaller storage baskets to put like in a linen closet or, inside a cabinet, those kinds of things, drawer dividers, anything like that you find at yard sales and garage sales that will help get your home organized is always a good thing to pick up. And again, you will be spending a lot less than if you went to a store to find those items. So I'm so excited because as I'm recording this, it is March 2nd. And so usually yard sales for us usually don't start until the end of April, beginning of May. So I still have some time to wait, but I'm looking forward to it so much this year. With the pandemic, yard sales have looked a lot different. There haven't really been many. And so I'm hoping this year it's kind of back to normal and we can get out there. I'll be sharing all of my yard sale adventures on my Instagram at My Creative Days, on Facebook, again at My Creative Days, YouTube videos. I will be sharing it all there as well. So, and always on the website, mycreativedays.com, with tips and tricks for shopping yard sales, what to buy, how I'm repurposing something I found to get the look that I want for less. So all of that will be documented across the board because it makes me excited to share the things I'm finding, the things I'm looking for, and hopefully to inspire you to get out there and do the same. So until next Monday, have a great week. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I'm grateful that you tune in every week and that you share the show with your family and friends. I love having creative chit chats with you, and my hope is that this podcast will inspire you to try a new project, start a DIY that you've been putting off, and decorate your home exactly how you want it. There are a few ways you can help us with the podcast. Follow the podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you could take a few minutes to leave the podcast a review, that would help us so much. Again, thank you for being here, and I look forward to our chat next week. Bye-bye.